Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another video. So today is June the 30th, the end of the month. So we're going to be doing a monthly gem report as I promised on May 31st of last month. And before we get any further, just wanted to say Happy Canada Day in advance to any of my Canadian friends, including me, and Happy 4th of July to any of my American viewers here as well. So anyway, as I said before, we're going to do a really quick run through of what happened this month, where my gems came from. I did an exact breakdown of every single gem, so every single gem here is accounted for. So I started rushing through this right now. It's like 9:30 p.m. I have 2.5 hours to try to make something before the month turns over. So as you can see from here, I divided every single source of gem into a category. So we have logins, we have PvP, we have troop review, we have events and other assignments, we have Star Arena, we have some Gacha Spendings here. I don't. I will show my final gem count for this month later. So to begin with, I'm not going to be doing anything special for this month because I really don't know what I'm going to do yet. Maybe we'll try mix things up in July. So under category for login and main story, as you can see here, there were 31 days um, where you could get gems from. So that would be 31 times 100. So that's 3,100. That's the theoretical amount. Now I know June has 30 days, but because I counted May 31st as one day, that's why we have an extra day there. And I did miss some logins just because I didn't really feel like it sometimes because this game really is a grind. So did miss 3 days here, but still 2,800 out of 3,100. That's a pretty good amount. We have some weekly and monthly login rewards as well. So I calculated the theoretical amount to be 5,300. So as you guys know, you get 4,500 just from logging in from the monthly login, and then from weekly logins, you get 200 per week. But because I think I started my day one is not on the first, so there was some trickle over, and that's why number looks a bit funky there. But I did get every single gem there, so that meant I did log in every single day. Now under miscellaneous, this is basically any sort of gem that did not fall under any of the other categories, and I made sort of a list here. That's why there's no sort of theoretical amount because you can theoretically get an unlimited amount. So I did get some new stage girls from Gacha and all of that. So we did get I think a 10 times free roll Gacha, not the current one, the one that happened earlier in May, and I got BSC Kari from that. And so I got 150 gems from the potential crystal hunt. I got Wukong from the event ticket that was from the Stranded Stage Girls Revival, which I'll get in a little bit. And there was also Yuiko's birthday where we got 300 gems, and they messed up as well. So typical classic A team error. So we got another 100 gems from that. I got BS Sukasa, as you guys know, from my scouting video, and I also leveled up Loki, which I got earlier, I think a few months ago. I think I had a video on that as well. And you guys know I got Sandy Beach Dark Horse Rui. What a mouthful to say. Sort of a weird name in my opinion, and I did get her potential crystal hunts as well. So for my last video, I believe I didn't roll my free one times gacha thing yet, so I did get BS Shizuha from that. I was thinking about getting either BS Shizuha or BS Mizura, especially because both of them seem pretty good. BS Mizura, especially for this upcoming troop review, but I decided that Shizuha probably has a bit more utility because she could be used for any frontier, so that's why I went with her. And I got World Maya yesterday from the current 10 times free gacha, so gacha luck has been pretty good to me recently. So moving on, we have the Arcanacadia. I definitely butchered that name. Chapter 18 release, and you get 4,150 gems from completing all the chapters with 3 stars and reading all the stories, and the chests that gave 100, 200, 300 gems each. So we got that. And there was a movie release celebration login where I think if you log in within the first 7 days, you get 300 gems times 4. And then there were some other random ones. So I think the banner that looked like it was the one that had Yuko and Rui on it. So that takes care of the login to main story category. So moving on to PvP. So as you can see here, I have May 2022 on here, and what I did here was I record. So I was in A rank, and then I recorded the video where that update video from May 31st, and then right after that, I just won a couple more games. I got to S, and that gave me 1,500 gems, and then you get initial 1,000 gems as the ending placement reward. So that's where 2,500 came from. For unlimited season assignments, there were obviously more, so there is a theoretical here, but I got a bit lazy, so I didn't really check on it. So, but you can see here, I got rank 467, which was good enough for top 500. So we get 50 gems for top 500, 50 gems for top 1,000. That's kind of sad, where like you're just at S rank and that's already top 500. For the regular season, May 2022, theoretical amount here is 10,100 gems, and that I got that number from because if you get rank 1, you get 10,000 gems, and then the 100 gems is from one of the ladder rewards. So you get there are certain rewards that you could get all the way up to star score 3,500. I forgot when you get the gems. It's probably like 3,250 or 3,300. So that's where that came from. I actually ended up at exactly 3,000, which was very funny because I was playing my matches and like somehow I think I lost more than I won. So you get 30 points for winning a game, and you lose 20 points if you lose a game. So I think I won 4 matches and lost 6 matches because 30 times 4 is 120, and 20 times 6 is 120. So 120 minus 120 is 0. So that's a net gain of 0, and that put me on 1,161st. I had no idea why I messed up that number there, but like that's where that came from. And we had the second felt only the PvP about a week ago, and theoretical amount is 3,000 if you add up all the gens from beginning of G rank all the way up to SSS rank. And I got to S because that's the furthest I could go, and that was 900. And my score was 600, which was the bottom of S, and I didn't bother trying any further. Now, there is the June 2022 unlimited season that just ended, but because the rewards will come out on July 1st for me, at least at 3 a.m. That's why I didn't include it here, but that would be an additional 1,000 there. Okay, and for troop review, so last month we had the Soul Claudine troop review. That was the win one where you got to use Soul Claudine and BS Ukasa, and theoretical amount here is 7,000 because if you get top 10, then that's 6,000 gems, and then you get 1,000 gems from just doing your attempts. You have to do all your attempts to get all the gems. As you can see here, 1 attempt you get 100, 5 you get another 100, for a total of 500. And as you can see here, my troop ended up rank 124th. I was a bit busy last month, though. I sort of joined a friend's troop, and no one really plays there except for a few people. The troop name is Aru's family. I still can't pronounce her name, just like how I can't really pronounce Rui's name. And we ended up at 124th with a score of, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It looks like 395,200,000. Hopefully I got that number right. And so that gave us 2,000 gems, and we got 1,000 from just the attempts. So that's 3,000 total. Pretty good. So this recently, since I have more time now, I decided to join another troop, and as you guys may know already, I was in my original troop. I was a sub leader there for about 10 months, all the way up until full, and then we got top 20, and then took a little break, and then Namian invited me to his troop, and I hung out there for 7 or 8 months, all the way up until May, and then June was the one where I sort of had to do something, so I didn't want to take up a troop spot from someone else, and so this time I joined another troop. This shout out to J Team. That's the name of the troop that I joined, and they placed 32nd on this past troop review from the Soul Claudine. And my hope is that maybe I could help everyone push the top 30. If not, then that's no big deal. But it'll be fun. I know some of the people here, so it'll definitely be fun to play with them. So now we're moving on to events and special assignments. As you can see here, I basically got every single possible gem from the events. So starting from the Stranded Stage Heroes Revival event, there were 1,100 gems available, and this is the breakdown. As you can see right here, event stories 300 gems, So 50 gems per each, so 300 divided by 50 is 6. Quick math right there. Defeat bosses, there are 6 difficulties. You get 100 gems per defeating a boss for the first time, so that's another 600. And then update lottery, you could get that from the special assignments. If you do the first 4 boxes, they give you 50 gems each, so 50 times 4 is 200, so that's where that came from. Got every single gem there. Easy, got the ticket as well. So there was also the big Segfeld junior high release event. So there were 1,100 gems available there, and was the breakdown. And I also managed to get all the gems from that. And now there was also the RP event, and maximum here was 6,300. So you could get 50 gems times 6 for defeating a certain number of bosses, so that's 300. If you get, I forgot, probably it was like top 10 or something, you get 6,000 gems. I was actually able to place in top 100, and that was pretty neat because this is the first time I actually placed in top 100, and that's mostly because I did have 2 boosts. So I had Police Rui and I had BS Yuyuko, so that really helped with the points. And the other boost was Odin, but I obviously didn't pull for her, not because I don't like Shizuha, because I couldn't afford to. And so I had to spend some gems here, which you will see in a bit when I go down to my gem spendings to get 98. I think I did 2 refills, so that was probably like 400 gems or something. But because the gap between top 100 and top 500 is 500 gems, you get an additional 500 gems plus some other rewards such as Bound Break Memoirs. I still came out net on top because I only spent 400. I got an extra 500, so that's a net 100. A lot of math here today. And so I ended up at 98th, and I honestly was panicking for the last hour or so because things were moving super quickly. I could have spent more gems, but I was like, you know what? I want to get as close to 100 as possible. It would be really funny if I got 100th or 101st. And I ended up at 98th with a score of just over 3 million. So it looks like you're 3,113,368. The cutoff, which was rank 100, was just a bit lower than me at 3,107,603. But no harm, no foul. I did not get voted. And what that means is, booted off a tier. That's what the acronym stands for. And there were also, obviously, you get event chests every once in a while from clearing bosses, and somehow I got the 50 gem reward 6 times, so that's where 300 gems came from. Also, some other events here. We have Reader's Theater, which was basically doing a bunch of arena matches, so you can see 400 gems, a maximum. I got 400 gems of them. For the Arcana invitation for Moon, this is for the Moon badge. You get 1,500. Here is the breakdown, and I was able to get every single one. So you can see here I was pretty active. Basically, any sort of gem that I could reasonably get, I did get, with the exception of a few hundred gems from daily assignments. And obviously, I don't really have that much of a say in troop ranking or PvP because my PvP team sucks. You sort of see that because I'm at the floor for basically every single PvP. Not sure if you guys can see my mouse, but I was sort of hovering over it. There's the second trophy road event going on right now. As you guys know, I do have one of the boosts for the event, and that is the what was her name, Sandy Beach Dark Horse Rui, and so that event's still ongoing. But it's really funny how you can only get 200 gems in total from the whole event. But I think that's probably because there are much better rewards. That's not really the point of Trophy Road. And apparently, for the next Trophy Road, so this will be the 3rd Trophy Road, the one with Carmen, and so that would be involving Lalafin and Fumi. I think that one is sort of they're tying that into troop as well. So what troop you're in actually starts to matter even more now because you can get more awards from being a higher ranked troop. And so that's how that is. So for Star Arena, there were 4 weeks that fit into this month. The current week right now does not count because it will end on Sunday, which is, today's the 30th, so that'll be 1st, 2nd, so that will end on the 3rd. So, that'll be July 3rd. Can't really count that because that's not June. So we have 4 weeks here. I did actually drop out of Gold 3 on the first week, mostly because I didn't play because My units are not that good. They're mostly PVE, mostly for troop review purposes. So my performance or my ability to be good in sort of PvP related uh, aspects of the game suffered greatly as because I don't have Bloody Devil Shiori, so I don't have a good aggro tank like a fast one. I obviously have Charity and um, Emperor, but they're not nearly as good as Bloody Devil, and I don't have any auto countable negative effect resistance, so that would be units such as the Police Karen or I think Gretel Hikari as well. And I don't have continuous NER like Okanushi Karen. Like you could tell, like I'm sort of having trouble even recalling these names. That's how out of the meta I am right now. So I ended up 825th, but I did work my way back up in gold 2 for gold 2 week 2. So we got 500 gems because the gems you get from Star Arena is dependent on where you end up in rank at the end of the thing, not where you started, which is a bit different from PvP because in PvP, if you let's say you're in SSS and then you play a match and then you lose that match, you drop into SS, your chest is still gold, it's still SSS because that's where you started. But that's the complete opposite for Star Arena. So that's why I lost 50 gems, even though I started off in week 3, and that's why I gained another 50 gems in week 2, even though I started off in gold 2. And as you can see here, I had some pretty close calls on week 3 and week 4 because the cutoff for dropping top out of the highest tier, which is gold 3, is rank 700. As you can see here, I got 616th in week 3, and I got 690th in week 4, so really pushing it there. But I actually could have won another match for this past week, the one where I got 690th. But once again, I wanted to torture myself for some reason, and I did have an additional match available, but I just stared at the thing until um, time was up, and that was enough. And for bonus victory gems here, so every time you win a match, you have a chance of getting 5 additional gems. I really hate that number. I really wish it was 10, because for I don't have no idea why. I just don't like seeing anything that does not end with a 0 for my gem count. And so as you can see here, you could get from my calculations, you get a maximum of 860 gems just from the 5 gem rewards. Assuming you win every single match, you don't miss any matches, and you always get the 5 gem reward. But I only got 60 here, so that is 60 divided by 5, so that means I got it 12 times, which is pretty good. Next to 60 gems, that is 1/5 of a single pull. A single pull is 300 gems. So that's where that came from. The thing that really bugs me sometimes with these 5 gems is that I always seem to get them in quick succession. So I always seem to end up on my gem count ending with a 5, and then I would get 5 gems, so I end up with 0, so it looks nice again, and that you would immediately get another chest that gives 5 gems, so I'll be stuck at 5 for the whole time. But luckily this time, I ended up with a 0. So now we're going to our category for our gacha spendings here. Now, preface, you don't actually need 6 months, which was my original goal to get to 100,000 gems. You could get it in probably about 3 months or so, just from being in a good troop. And if you play every single aspect of the game, um, play every single aspect of the game, you're in a high ranking troop, you do well in PvP, you could get that amount in less than 3 months. Because you can see from here, I spent like over 20,000 gems this month from on a bunch of game related stuff, and I still ended up with 15,000 gems, which means I got around 36,000 gems total just from playing the game. And I wasn't even in a high ranking troop or high ranking PvP wise, so it's definitely possible. And the game is really generous with how they give gems, especially now. But the reason why a lot of people think they don't have a lot of gems is because there's way too many things to pull for, and of course, bad luck plays a factor in that. So as you can see here, we obviously pulled for BS Sukasa earlier this month. Okay, yeah, it's still June, so I think it took 3 steps. So that was 6,000 gems. I don't have the steps memorized, but I pretty sure, I think it was like 1,500 and then another 1,500, another 3,000. That's probably how the breakdown worked out. And then for versus Revue support gacha, so this was a mistake. So back when we had the free polls, not the current one, as you let's keep saying, we had free polls like this, at the beginning of June. Um, at one point, I think I was so tired. I opened the game. I was not thinking. I thought we still had the free poll. So then I just did reflex. I clicked the poll and then I clicked OK, and then um, that was actually the day after the free polls ended. So I accidentally did step one of the versus Revue support gacha, and what ticked me off was the first step is only 5 polls. So that was really strange. I was like, oh crap, I polled by accident, and so that's where I lost 900 gems there. And for the next one here, you can see RP refills. That was a feature of those event. I already alluded to this before. I spent 400 gems on refills, so that's where the negative 400 is from. And of course, I did scout for Sandy Beach Dark Horse Re a few days ago. I don't even remember. Everything seems like a blur, so I had to go quite far to get her steps, but it was worth it because, as I said before, I like Rui, and yeah, and actually, I'll be honest here. The main reason why I pulled for her was because of the swimsuit medals. I wanted to get the Tamao skin, and then once I got Tamao skin, I think I had enough by step 4, step 5. I didn't really get anything good. I was like, you know what, like, um, let's just scout for her because she is a pretty good card. So that's why I spent more gems than I wanted to. But I did get her, so the gamble did pay off. So to recap, we started at 0 gems, as I said before, and we're the net gain or net loss was just under 15,000 at 14,930. So if you add those two numbers up, we have a net gain of about 15,000 gems for this month. Now, I'm going to preface this, but there's a very good chance that my gem count will go back to around 0 next month because as you guys may know, BS Tamao is coming out next month, and I'm going to scout for her, even though I sort of don't want to, because I've had pretty rotten luck with some of her banners, most recent banners. So we have Witch Tamao, which I've already mentioned in a previous video. I lost went 9 steps, and then she made my gem count go into 0. And then we had Toshizo, which, as you guys, was a pretty funny video where I did get her sort of early on. I think it was on step 8, but if you guys watch that video, you could see that I did not get a single 4-star, not even a memoir, up until step 8. Well, except for the guaranteed birthday memoir, but that doesn't really count because you're guaranteed that. It'll be really sad if I didn't get a guaranteed, even though it was guaranteed. And then if we go back a little further, we had what's her name? We had Def Tamao, and I went full steps for her. I don't have a video on that because I was sort of depressed when I didn't get her. So I went full steps for that. So I think that was 11 steps. Didn't get her. And then if we go even further, back to December of 2020. So this was the first round of birthdays. I did not get Kaguya early on. I had to go 23 steps. So as you can see here, luck with her units have not been that good. So I'm hoping 4 for 5th time's the charm here. Obviously, 3rd time was not charm because if it was, I would have gotten one of the other units earlier on. So I have no idea when she's going to come out. She's probably going to come out in early, maybe 2nd week, I'm going to guess, of next month, so July. So we're going to scout for her, and then hopefully our gem count is not reduced to 0, because if we really do that, then I'm never going to get to 100,000. Because I said before, you get to 100,000 just by playing the game, but people, they have to satisfy those gacha urges, and I am not immune to that. So that's what's going to happen. With regards to that other idea I had about ranking sort of birthday units, sort of categorizing them, and then talking about that, I have not started working on that yet because I've been really busy. But I will try to work on it maybe next month or maybe in August. So hopefully that will come out, or the first round will come out maybe in end of August or something like that, the latest. we'll see because everyone has life stuff. So anyway, that is the recap of my earnings for this month. I know I rambled on. I have no idea how long this video is going to be. I'm going to guess it's at least 20 minutes long. Uh, Obviously, it was not very exciting. It's just me talking the whole time. But I'll try to make it a bit more visually appealing as well. At least for some my other viewers who I know personally requested me to make graphs and charts of all the earnings. I will do that next month. I am sorry to disappoint you this time, but I will be better next time because sort of sometimes you want to set the bar low because if you set the bar too high, then that just makes it hard to make new videos. So if this video is sort of crappy, then there's plenty of room for improvement. But anyway, that was everything I want to say for this month. Happy playing. Stage of Dreams is dead. Well, it's about to die. So if you guys haven't completed that yet, definitely do so. But anyway, that will bring an end to this video. I'll see you guys next time.